Sandra Edmond, your Queen of Tax Deeds. Just a quick reminder that Seminole County's auction is online and there are a few important things you should be doing. So one of the things is first of all, you need to set up an account. You need to go on this website and register if you haven't done so already. They do have a really good frequently asked questions section, which answers a lot of questions about the website. However, here are some really important points that you need to know so that you can make sure that everything is done correctly. So if you go down here, they've got all of the answers to the questions. You will need to send in a deposit. You need to send in a deposit, otherwise you will not be able to bid. And that deposit has to be 5% of the maximum you expect to bid on a particular property for. So with each auction coming up, you should have a budget. So if your budget is X amount, figure out what 5% of that is, and that's how much you should set in for your deposit. So one thing that they are doing as of right now, and I am making this video in January of 2025, they are only accepting the deposits via a wire. So you cannot go directly to the courthouse to drop it off. You cannot do an ACH. It has to be a wire. They are charging a wire fee of $5. And they also warn you that the wire could take anywhere from 1 to 2 days to arrive at their office. So you need to plan accordingly if you're bidding at the auction. So if you have an auction coming up tomorrow, you may be pushing your luck and you might not be able to bid if your wire doesn't get there for 2 days. So you cannot bid at the sale unless there is enough of a deposit, unless you have a deposit period. However, how much you can bid up to will directly be reflected by how much you have on deposit. All right, so just make sure you take care of those things. And then the website's very easy to use. It's much like a lot of the other real auction sites. Do look at the frequently asked questions because every county is different. They have their own rules. Some of them do accept ACH, some do not. You also need to know how long you have after you purchase the property, after you win the auction, to send them the money. And how do they accept it? You know, do they accept wire? Do they accept cashier's check? How do they accept the funds for the final payment? That's very important because if you do not make your payment in time, they will cancel that sale and they will keep your deposit. So just make sure you go on and have enough time to fill this thing out before you need it, because you don't want to be doing it the last minute. Just another tip too, there's also an alias section, and that's the name of the company you plan to put the tax deed in, or the name you want on the tax deed. So for example, if you're buying in your LLC, or if you're buying in your own personal name, if you're buying in an LLC or in a trust or S Corp, whatever it is, you need to have that company's name in there. And then also, of course, you set up the account under your name, but you need to make sure the names that you plan on using are there. So that way you can pick which alias that you are bidding under. All right. So let me know what you think about this. Are you a regular Seminole County bidder? Do you think you're going to be bidding in Seminole County? What do you think about these changes? Don't forget to subscribe and like this video.